Hello guys, I Dr. Virendra Kumar Gupta welcomes you at your YouTube channel for the medical student. So guys, today we will discuss here about the X-ray in pediatrics and normal and abnormal X-rays with some pathogenesis and X-ray of the chest, X-ray of the long bones, X-ray of the skull, etc. As well as we will discuss here how should we read the X-ray to establish a diagnosis or pathophysiology of the X-ray. So guys, most important thing when reading a X-ray or H, we should have a system or systematic approach to read a X-ray and use it consistently, and we should know the anatomy of the system as well as we should establish some differential diagnosis and keep in our mind also some diagnosis and pathophysiology of the disease. So guys, X-ray reading is a step-by-step process where we should always confirm the patient name and check the date of the film or marking at the film. And here you can see the name and date of the patient as well as right or left side as R for the right. And good quality film is very important, which can be seen by the RIP. We can keep the mnemonics as the RIP as rest in peace, as RIP, R for rotation, I for inspiration and P for penetration. We will discuss later on. And we should read the film, not directly jump to the diagnosis and establish the diagnostic after the reading complete film. So guys, radiographic opacities are very important. As in this picture, we can see here from right to left side as we are increasing the least opaque to most opaque side or most lucent to least lucent type side as black to white. As black is the air and most white is the metal, and in between there is the fat is the brownish black and soft tissue is the whitish brown, and bone and calcification is the opaque, and metal is also white or opaque side. And this chest X-ray, you can see the air is black, water is the some brown, fat is some brown, and bones are white shadows. So guys, a approach of the X-ray is very important, and X-ray chest is very important picture where you can keep the mnemonics as A, B, C, D, E, as A for the airways, B for the bones and soft tissues, C for the cardiac shadows and cardiac sellouts, and D for the diaphragms, and E for the other everything else like lungs, cardiac and trachea, etc. So guys, X-ray quality is very important, and for the film quality, you should present it as is the X-rays AP or PA view, upright X-ray or erect X-ray or patient X-rays supine. Is that rotatory picture or not rotation, good inspiratory picture or expiratory picture, or penetration is under or over penetration. So guys, one by one we will discuss here. As in this picture, PA and AP views, how will we differentiate in the PA and AP view? As you can see, in PA view, you can see PA means X-ray beam is from the posterior side and the plate is at the anterior side. So PA view is posterior to anterior, beam is going, and X-ray picture is at the anterior of the chest. So guys, in PA view, you can see the scapula is widely, and inner border of the scapula you can see here. This is the inner border of the scapula, which is at the periphery of thorax. While in the AP view, you can see the scapular border is this. This is scapular border. Here, you can see here, this is the scapular border in the AP view, while in the PA view, this is the scapular border. So, this is outside of the thoracic case, while this is inside of the thoracic case. While the clavicles, as you can see here, this is projected over the lung field. This is the clavicle which is projected over the lung field in the PA view, while in the AP view you can see the clavicles are above the lung field and above the apex. And in the ribs, you can see here, these are oblique ribs or these are posterior ribs are more distant here. Or here in the anterior ribs are more distinct and these are transversely placed. And cardiomegaly is not seen. You can see in the same patient there is, you can see there is cardiomegaly. This is apparently seen. This is not actual cardiomegaly, but due to the distance, you can see here, this is the heart shadow and the heart to plate distance is more than this. So in PA view, this is normal size of the heart, while in the AP view, you can see some apparent cardiomegaly due to the distance of the X-ray plate from the heart. So guys, this is important views, and PA view is very important, most commonly taken, but in some patient AP view can be taken for the ambulatory patient, or in supine patient lateral view can be taken for the effusion patient, or some pleural effusion or pleural thickening is there. Lateral decubitus position can be taken for the confirmation of the some pathology if not confirmed by the AP or PA view, and oblique view can also be taken for the confirmation of some pathology, and lordotic view can be taken for the apical lesions. So guys, X-ray quality is very important and we should think about the inspiratory film or good pictures. As assessing expiration, how can we assess the expiration in the X-ray? As a line draw at mid-clavicular line and count the ribs, anterior and posterior ribs. As you can see, these are anterior ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 oblique ribs. So 6 ribs are usually present, anterior rib present at the upper to downside up to the diaphragm. So this is the diaphragm, and these count the ribs at the diaphragm and should be intersected by the anteriorly at the 5 to 7 ribs, and posteriorly it can be at 8 to 10 ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So usually anterior side 5 to 7 ribs and posterior side 8 to 10 ribs are present for the good inspiratory picture of the chest X-ray. So you guys, you can see here in the both X-rays, this is the poor inspiratory film and this is the full inspiration or good inspiratory film. Here we can see the density is increased at the lower lung field, while the overall lung field are poor than the good inspiratory picture. And exaggregation of the heart size, you can see here, the heart size is exaggregated than the normal size. And occurrence obscuration of the lung base, you can see here there is some obscuration of the lung base because of opacity increase at the base of lung field. So guys, good inspiratory picture will tell us the good pathology or good disease. And guys, this is very important penetration of the X-ray. As you can see, there are 3 pictures with the good exposure of the, with overexposed picture and underexposed picture. And how can we establish that this is the good or bad picture? As in the good exposure, intervertebral disc margins are barely seen through the heart. While in other picture you can see there is the intervertebral cells are watching through the heart clearly, while there is no differentiation of the heart shadow and intervertebral disc. As well as the left hemidiaphragm should be visible with the edge of the spine. You can see here, this is the left hemidiaphragm and this is visible while there is no differentiation. And if the overexposed picture, there is over watching. So this is very differentiating picture and we should know about the overexposed or underexposed picture, and we can left some pathology due to the poor penetration. So guys, another thing is the rotation. A rotatory film can affect the heart size, shape, aortic tortuosity, tracheal position, density of the lung field, and rotation can obscure a pneumothorax or can also mimic a mediastinal shifting. So guys, how will you see the rotation? This is the spinous process and this is the medial end of the clavicle. These are the medial end of the clavicle. The distance from the spinous process to the right side and through the left side both should be equal for a non-rotatory picture. And you can see in this picture there is the similar distance through the spinous process, while you can see in this picture there is the right side is more than left side for the clavicle. This is the clavicle, medial end of the clavicle, and this is the spinous process. So this is rotatory picture. So guys, here we are presenting a normal chest X-ray, as the reading of the X-ray as like I am presenting the chest X-ray or skygram of the chest, that is PA view showing good penetration with no rotation and having good inspiration, as we will see here. And we should read the X-ray from outer to inner side. So guys, in this X-ray there is no soft tissue abnormality. Thoracic case is normal, as the ribs are normal, clavicle are normal, spines are normal, and thereafter angles, as there are two angles is very important. This is the costophrenic angle and this is costocardiac angle. If these are obliterated, there may be some pathology, but in this X-ray there is normal costophrenic and costocardiac angles, and there is shadow of the diaphragm, dome of the diaphragm is normal, trachea is centrally placed and spinous process is visible, and there is both side of the lungs or bilateral lung field are normal, and cardiac shallouts are normal or not obliterated, and no cardiomegaly is there. So guys, we should read the X-ray like this, and if there is any pathology we should present after all. So guys, we will discuss here some pathological X-ray one by one. In this X-ray you can see here there is the costophrenic angle is obliterated, as well as lower lung field, left lower lung field are opaque, and if we think about the trachea, this is slightly pushed. So guys, on the basis of trachea we will discuss the pathology here. If the pushing of trachea is there, due to this picture there may be some large pleural effusion or there may be some pneumothorax if there is air shadows. This is the white shadows. White shadows is due to some consolidation, some soft tissues, or white brown shadows due to the some soft tissues is there may be some butter or any other things. While if there are black shadow, there may be air. So in this picture there is opaque, radio opaque picture, that is some water or consolidation air. And if there is pulling of the trachea is there, that may be due to the consolidation picture. So guys, in these X-rays, what you can see here in the right side of X-ray, there is obliteration of the angle of costophrenic angle, and there is trachea is pushed. So this is what, and as well as if you can see in this picture, there is radio opaque shadow in the medial and apical right apex of the lung, and trachea is pulled. So guys, pushing of the trachea is due to pleural effusion, and pulling of trachea is due to the consolidation or lobar collapse of hair, while there is both side having radiopaque lesions. Guys, in this picture, what you can see, this is radiolucent area, while this is the radiopaque area, and there is obliteration of the costophrenic angle, and you can differentiate a line. So, and there is trachea is pushing from the midline. So this is pneumothorax and this is hydrothorax. So overall this picture is hydropneumothorax. And while in this picture you can see that trachea is slightly medial side or some shifting here, and this is pneumothorax. So guys, what is in this picture? You can see here multiple air shadows are there, multiple cavity lesions are there along with the pneumothorax. You can see here, and this is due to tension pneumothorax. And this is one-way valve and not allow air to the exit. And what is the treatment for the tension pneumothorax? There is needle decompression. Now guys, this is very important picture for the cardiothoracic ratio. This is the normal cardiothoracic ratio is the around 50% to 55%, while cardiomegaly is called if the cardiothoracic ratio is more than 50%, and causes of cardiomegaly are as discussed here. And how will we take the CT ratio? C for the cardiac ratio, cardiothoracic ratio. So there is a line drawn at the mid side, as you can see here. This is the midline of the X-ray, and this is the right side of the X-ray at the most lateral of the heart, and as well as at the left side there is most lateral border of the heart. So this is the cardiac size A and B, and C for the thoracic, and these are both lines in between the thoracic cage. You can see the most lateral part of the thoracic cage. So cardiothoracic ratio is A plus B divided by C. If this is more than 50%, this is cardiomegaly, and that may be due to the heart valve disease, cardiomyopathy, pulmonary hypertension, pericardial effusion, any thyroid disorder, hemochromatosis, and other rare diseases like amyloidosis or viral infection of the heart, as viral myocarditis, kidney disease requiring the dialysis, HIV infection may be there, diabetes, alcohol, or other causes. So guys, in this both these pictures you should evaluate. As in this picture you can see this is the cardiac size. Clearly we can see this is the cardiomegaly. As if we take on these the A plus B divided by C as around 80%. While in this X-ray you think as this is the cardiac water, but deeply if we see here, this is the pneumatic line and cardiac line are this. So we should think it is cardiac border or not. So cardiac border is this. So this is not a cardiomegaly. If we take the CT ratio, this is around 50%. So this is the picture of pneumothorax. So this is cardiomegaly, while this is the pneumothorax. Now guys, come to the picture of X-ray picture of the tuberculosis. In the tuberculosis, there may be some infiltration or consolidation, and Ghon complex may be seen in the active tuberculosis. There may be some cavitatory lesion, there may be some nodules or lymph nodes that with poorly defined margins, pleural effusion may be there, hilar or mediastinal lymphadenopathy may also be found, linear or interstitial disease may also be found in children, and miliary tuberculosis may also be found, as there are nodules of millet size, 1 to 2 millimeter of size nodules may be found distributed throughout the lung parenchyma. So guys, we will discuss here what is the tuberculosis, and in these X-rays what you can see? You can see here some opaque lesions, some pleural effusion and some other things, as is the yellow is the some right-sided hilar, opacity, and if you can see, this is the cavity. If you can see, there is the hilar lymphadenopathy and there is obliteration of the costophrenic angle as there is pleural effusion also. So there is multiple things in a X-ray that's due to the tuberculosis. And well as if you are watching the left side of the X-ray, what you can see here, this is nodular opacity, or there are no distinct margin or there is no regular margin of the nodules, as well as there are multiple, you can see the multiple calcification lesion. You can see here the multiple lesions are there, white. You can see some opaque, radiopaque lesions. These are millet size shadows that are due to the infiltration, and these are miliary tuberculosis. Guys, come to the next X-ray. This is very important picture in the pediatric age group. What you can see in this X-ray, what are the pathology you can suspect. So what is this? This is boot-shaped heart, and this is found in due to the upturned cardiac apex. Boot-shaped heart is due to the upturned cardiac apex, and this is the due to right ventricular hypertrophy and concave pulmonary arterial segment. You can see here, this is the concave pulmonary arterial segment, and this is upturning of the cardiac apex, as well as right ventricular hypertrophy is there. So the shape of the heart is looking like a boot, and this is due to tetralogy of Fallot. And what are the component of the tetralogy of Fallot? There is pulmonary stenosis, VSD, overriding of aorta, and right ventricular hypertrophy. Next X-rays, what you can see in this X-ray? This is the X-ray of newborn, which is showing here some radiopaque lesion. You can see here, and this is due to meconium aspiration syndrome. Due to the meconium aspiration, some opacities over bilateral lung field are seen. So this is the epithelial damage in response to the meconium aspiration. And pathophysiology is the airway obstruction, fetal hypoxia, infection, pulmonary inflammation, surfactant inactivation, PPHN, apoptosis, and treatment is assisted ventilation along with the inhaled nitric oxide, anti-inflammatories, glucocorticoids, inhibitor of the phosphodiesterase, inhibitors of the cyclooxygenase, antibiotics, surfactant treatment, and previously if treatment are giving, we should continue that. And guys, this is another thing. What you can see in this X-ray, can you see the heart size is slightly oval? You can see this is the egg-shaped heart. What is the egg-shaped heart? Due to egg on string appearance, and that is found in transverse position of the great artery TGA. So you can see in this X-ray. What you can see in this X-ray? If you are watching, there is some pneumatic patches or air below the diaphragm bilateral side. So bilateral air below the diaphragm in this picture, it may be due to the pneumoperitoneum, and causes are, there are multiple causes: perforation of the duodenal ulcer, perforated pectic ulcer, there may be due to the bowel obstruction or ruptured diverticulum, or there may be penetrating trauma, inflammatory bowel disorders, any after laparotomy, after laparoscopy, surgical anastomosis के बाद, after bowel injury due to the endoscopy, peritoneal dialysis, and there may be some peritoneal infection, colonic infection. Guys, in this picture what you can see, if you are watching, there are some line are here. You can see the clear-cut line are here, a straight line that differentiate air fluid levels. You can see here some lines, air fluid level. This is air and below this is fluid. So air fluid levels, if there are more than 2 to 3 air fluid levels, that may be due to the intestinal obstruction, and this is important emergency. Now come to the X-ray of the long bones. So guys, what you can see in this X-ray? what you can see, there is some hemorrhage, periosteal, subperiosteal hemorrhage are there. There are some radiolucent area, that is the scorbutic zone, that's it, tremor filled zone. And if you see here at the metaphysis, there is dense zone of provisional calcification. This is white line of Frankel. You can see there is some white lines, and in the epiphyseal there is some ring structure. You can see here, this is the Wimberger line and this is Pelken-Spur. So these all are found in the scurvy, and this is generalized osteopenia is there, and you can see here all the pictures as thin pencil cortex, periosteal reaction, scorbutic rosary may also be found, and hemarthrosis, Wimberger signs, and there is white line of the Frankel, there is tremor filled zone and Pelken spurs. You can see here, these are metaphyseal spurs. As if you are watching this X-ray, there are some difference. You can see here, there are some not normal bone and there is some changes of the bone, or there is some obliteration of the bone lining. As well as if you are watching, there is cupping of the metaphysis. You can see here, there is cupping. So guys, there is due to demineralization of the cortical or tubercular pattern, and there is widening of the epiphysis, and there is cupping, there is some fraying. You can see here some fraying lesion, and there is deformity of the bones. You can see here some deformities of bowing of the bone, and there are filial anterior lips may also found, that are in the rickets. So these are the picture of rickets. So you should differentiate in the rickets and scurvy, as like there are some bowing, there are some cupping and fraying, while in scurvy there are some white line of the Frankel here while there is cupping, or there are some bowing while there are in the scurvy there was some thin pencil cortex. So guys, what is this? What you can see in this picture? There is some cupping and fraying at the metaphysis, you can see here, and widening of the metaphysis. So this is the picture of rickets. As well as what you can see in this picture, if you are watching, there is some cupping, you can see there cupping, some you can see there bowing and widening of the metaphysis. So this is due to again rickets. And in this picture, what you can see, there is some thin pencil cortex, white line of the Frankel. This is the ring Wimberger sign. You can see here at the epiphysis there is whitening of the ring. This is the ring epiphysis, and you can see here again ring epiphysis, and this is the Pelken spur. This is Pelken spurs. So this is the X-ray of scurvy. Again in this picture you can see the Pelken spurs, white line of the Frankel. This is Wimberger signs. There is ring signs. So this is X-ray of again scurvy. These are Pelken spurs. Guys, this is the X-ray skull. What is showing here? In this X-ray, you can see widening of the diploic space. This is the diploic space that is widened, where the thinning of the inner table and outer table. And if you see here, there is prominent secondary trabeculae. You can see here, these are prominent secondary trabeculae that are hair on end appearance. If you are watching this X-ray, you can see here, there are some hair-like appearance of the X-ray. These are due to the prominent secondary trabeculae. These are hair end of an appearance. And the occipital bone, you can see here, the occipital bone is spare here, and this is due to the lack of hemopoietic bone marrow. So these all are finding of hemolytic anemia, especially in thalassemia. So guys, this is all about the X-ray, and there are multiple other X-rays are presented in our OPD and IPD practices, but these are common X-ray for the pediatric age group. So guys, thank you very much.